Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. This is my 24 KTM 300 XCW, and I originally built it last year, and now it's got about 70 hours on it. And I've went through and freshened it up, and also I've made quite a few improvements to the bike in the last year as well. Especially in performance, suspension performance and engine performance. So let's start off with the shock. So when I did the original build, it had these forks on it, but it had the stock shock that was modified by Factory Suspension Works. They did a great job. Greg always does excellent work over there, but this is several levels above that, the National Shock. Can't say enough good things about that. Actually, the MX Tech crew was here in town last weekend and rode with me for a couple of days. I gave them a good Slavens beat down. And a couple of the guys, Jeremy, the owner, rode the bike and were very impressed with the balance of this suspension and the way it sucked up the rocks and the roots. All right, so that's the main suspension improvement I did. The main engine improvements are all from TSP down in Australia. Dave and his gang down there, we love those guys. They work with us very well and listen to our feedback and input. And so I've made this thing run a lot better. It's got a lot more bottom end and mid-range now. And the biggest thing to improve that is the TSP ERM. This plugs in behind the headlight into the wiring harness, and then you can make all your changes. This is basically just a little computer, and then from here you download programs onto the stock ECU. I'll do it. We've got other upcoming videos on that where I'll go into depth on explaining that, but this gives a huge improvement to performance, improves the fuel mileage in stock condition. They're way too rich on the bottom. That's why you see guys posting about fouling plugs. I added this TSP power valve cover. Excellent product. There's a lot of information on our website about that, slavensracing.com, and it gives a lot more low end and lower part of the mid-range as well. And then in the head, which is buried in there, I put in the TSP high compression insert. They've got a medium and a high. This is the high, which works very well for up here in the mountains, and that insert gives me 200 psi of compression. Let's see what else has been added to this bike. So the bulletproof clutch cover. And we'll have a separate video on that. This thing is very brute, and so stay tuned for that other video, or we'll put a link to it on this video. And this is very, very tough. It's a lot thicker and heavier duty than the stock one. This titanium filler cap does not come with it. And then we've got the bulletproof brake pedal, which is a billet machine piece, a lot stronger than the stock one. And I also added these Carapac foot pegs since the original build. And then you can see that I've dulled the tips up on them because for me they're too sharp stock. A lot of the racer guys, hare scrambles, motocross, whatever, like them really sharp. I don't, because my foot gets stuck on there at inopportune times, and then I tip over. So I dull them down, and they still work extremely well. On the back over here, we've got a Bulletproof Designs axle nut that's got a self-locking piece on the middle of it. Works very well. You can use it multiple times, and it doesn't wear out that nylon piece. And then, I don't know what tire I had on it originally, but this is the Dunlop AT81EX, and I've got the Wolf Mousse balls in here. And as you guys probably already know, I'm not a big fan of mousses in general. But I'm trying to make these work for my application, so what I've done is I've modified them. I've drilled them, and I'll have a separate video on that, providing that my testing works out the way I want it. I'm just trying to get a little softer setup. I want them to be down around a 5 to 6 pound feel. I've got the Molecule chain guide in the back. Excellent product. I mean, you can run over those with a Mack truck or a freight train or whatever you want. You're not going to destroy them. I've also changed the bodywork out. You know, the bike had white in here before, so I changed that to orange. I put on the new Slavens graphics, just freshened everything up, made it look a lot better. You know, for just a few dollars, plastic and graphics kits are really not that pricey, and so for just a few dollars, you can make your bike look a lot better. Then here is the Bulletproof Designs. I don't even know what they call this piece, but it's a front sprocket guard, I guess, and that's made by Bulletproof Designs as well. And the stock one kind of comes down in this area, and it tends to clog up with mud and rocks, that type of stuff. So this is just a little more open. I think that's about all I've done to it since the last build. Up here, let me show you my little pipe guard. So I took an E-line pipe guard that was damaged. The big fat part of it was damaged from me tipping over and crashing. And I put a new pipe on here. It's a FMF gnarly. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go without a pipe guard this time, just to see how it works out. And then I decided to cut the old guard and put it on here, because a lot of stuff kicks up from the tire and dings up your pipe up in here. So just something I'm trying out. Let you know how it works out. The bike also has Samco hoses on it. I'm not sure if those were on there before or not, but anyhow, guys, that's really about all I've done. Not all that I've done. That's a lot that I've done to upgrade it over the last few months. This thing is a woods weapon. Everybody who rides this bike calls it the cheater bike, and it really is. But I don't see any reason to go out there and beat yourself up when you can have a nice smooth riding bike. All right, guys, if you would, please like us on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And the most important part is always the same thing, and that is get out for some throttle therapy. Wear out some tires, get rid of some stress, have a great time. Hope to see you on the trail. That's all for now.